Hello. Welcome to the live cook along or cooking demonstration. My name is Michelle Darby. I am a Thermomix consultant here in Brisbane, and I like to share what I think you might enjoy with cooking, or certainly reach out to me and let me know what interests you. So we're featuring the TM7 today, and I'll also be pulling out the TM6 because I'm cooking two items that are good for lunch boxes or treats. So the first one I have is the toddler friendly granola bar. So this one I actually took to lunch in my lunchbox today. So it does have nuts in it. I can also flick through the recipe or the ingredients that you can take out the nuts if you need to do so. So we're going to go through all of the items as we progress, and I'm going to tell you the features of the Thermomix and why I personally like using this and why I became a consultant. So for me, it's not about selling Thermomixes. It's about reducing the friction in my life and the obstacles that take up time, so that the cooking has become less of an issue and less barriers there for me. So Thermomix, that's why I've become a raving fan. So certainly make sure that you reach out to me if you have any questions. You can message me through the Facebook channel here, and you can always chat, and I'm happy to help you as we go. So first off, we're going to open up our Thermomix. We've turned it on at the button at the front down here. So it's a silver button, and we just turn that on and the beautiful large screen comes up. So it's nice and visual, and I'm from the side here, so I can actually see things quite easily. So we're going to tap our item that I already have in the menu plan, and it'll take us through the steps. So I already have all of my ingredients pre-prepared. So I have been at work today and I've come home and I've got everything there ready, and this is a quick, easy recipe. So I did also prepare this earlier, which I didn't grab out of the freezer to show you, which I will do as this is going through, because there is a cooking time with this. So the total time is 30 minutes for this particular recipe, and it's 10 minutes prep time. So that the rest of that time is that 25 minutes is just, the rest of that 20 minutes is just cooking. So as I said, 10 minutes prep time. So on the screen here, you've got your picture, then you can tap on your ingredients. So it goes down through all of the ingredients. I'm going to list those out for you as I bring my tray forward. So we have sultanas. You can also modify this recipe if there's particular items you don't have in your pantry. You can swap those out for other items that might suit your taste, or so you don't have to go out and spend a lot of money. So we have sultanas, 40 grams, dried apricots cut into pieces, 60 grams. We've got quick oats. So I didn't have quick oats. I've just used normal oats. So that's mine. And then we've got coconut oil, 40 grams, plain flour, 30 grams, peanut butter. So you can make your own nut butter, which this one here, we have got an almond butter that I quickly whipped up. Saves time. Once again, your Thermomix is the tool that helps you make these items and save money. So then we have some natural, the vanilla extract, some ground cinnamon. We have baking powder, sunflower seeds, pepita seeds, and some water. So that's all the ingredients. I've got mine all out here. Did I miss anything? I think I mentioned all of those, and we'll go through. So the next part is it gives you the preparation steps, so you can read through all of those, and you can scroll down and through. We go back to the tips. It gives you some tips in there, and I've actually also made my own little notes in there. So you can put 1 tablespoon of sugar-free maple syrup. That's what I chose to do. So any of the notes. I've also added psyllium husk to mine to put a bit of fibre in, extra fibre, and I've also added unflavoured whey protein powder. So I wanted mine to have more protein in it. So because I've done those two ingredients, the psyllium husk, because I'm adding those, they're quite thirsty, especially the psyllium husk, I will be upping the water. So this recipe is in Cookie Do. So my notes are going to help me remember that when I'm making this, and hopefully I don't because it's live, that I'm going to be adding, where it said 100 with where it said the water, I'm going to be adding 130 grams of water. I have actually already pre-weighed mine so that I don't forget that during the live presentation. Okay, so we're going to start. Simply tap on the start menu and we're going to turn our oven onto 160. So I'm going to do that, 160 degrees. And I'm over here, while I'm over here, so you can't quite see me, but I'm going to get out my pre-prepared ones that I had cooked earlier from the fridge. So these can actually be just another little tidbit of information. So I've got mine stored like this and they're wrapped in individual little pieces to grab and go. So they'll store in the fridge for a couple of days, or you can actually freeze them. So that's another good piece of knowledge. So yes, we've turned our oven on. So line a baking tray, 22 centimetres by 32 with baking paper and set aside. So that's my tray, another Thermomix one. So this is a lovely rose gold pink tray from the mix shop. So you can always have items there that you can purchase from the mix shop, and don't forget to, if you would be so kind, to just tap me in as your consultant. Okay, so we're going to go next. So Michelle Darby. Okay, so let's go through the process. Taking our lid off, we're going to add, my dried apricots and sultanas are actually in the fridge because I did this yesterday. Won't be a moment as I get those out. See, once again, you think you've got everything prepared, and life does tend to throw you curveballs. All right, so I have got mine here. So another one I would consider putting in would be cranberries. That's another favourite of mine. And I didn't have the dried apricot. I just had ones that were a little bit more plumper. So these particular ones like to be in the fridge. Okay, so we've got 60 grams of apricots that cut into pieces. So it just helps the process of cutting up, and the sultanas. So that's mine there. So that's just going to pop in. So it comes up to there. So it weighs it as it goes in. So this one comes to 93 grams. So I'm quite happy with that. Then we click next. So then we're going to pop our lid on and it's going to chop that up. So we'll push our button at the front here. That's the nice big green play button. So it's nice and clear and easy to see. And that's done in 2 seconds. It's going to do another lot. So it's different to the TM6. It has so it makes its lovely little sound and then releases. So that's the turbo mode. So it already, in this particular recipe, was already preset and it did it twice. So I'm going to take the lid off and I'm going to show you what that looks like all chopped up. So there we go. That's our sultanas and our apricots. So as I said, this is a lovely little recipe to put in your lunch boxes for children and for adults as well. I've already had mine today. So we're going to click next. So if you'd like yours minced up a little further, that step before said you could do it again. So I can scroll down, as you can see through the screen here. I'm scrolling through and you can read ahead of time what's next. Then it has the lovely little step here that tells me back to the current step. So it takes me back to the last item that I was at. And we're going to start adding in the rest of our ingredients. So the quick oats, 120 grams. I'm going to tear that to make sure that it's on the 0. Now the scales are in the feet. So we want to make sure that we're protecting those scales. So I'm going to go 120 grams of my oats. So I hope you're all starting the year off well. It's a good time to start getting those healthy choices in your menu and cooking some things. So once again, what highlights to me the benefits of a Thermomix is it helps me stay on track with my proteins, trying to keep those up for my own personal journey. And it doesn't make it so hard. So it's another tool that helps me achieve the goals that I personally want to in health. So that just ticked it off when it got to the right amount. So it was slightly over. That's more than fine. The scales in the Thermomix are within 1 gram. So that's actually really good. So then we've got our coconut oil. Just going to get a spoon out of my drawer. And this one is asking for 40 grams. In our weather here in Brisbane, that's actually melted. So in other climates that are a little bit cooler, that'll be quite hard, whereas ours is quite runny because it's quite hot. So we're looking for 40 grams. And we don't want to touch the side as we're adding these in because that will affect the scales. And we're close. I'm probably going to go just over. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that. So as you can see, it's ticking off again. And then it's going to give me the lovely little dingle that I did that right. Oh my gosh. That was, I did it the wrong way around, but it's the same amount. That one was the coconut oil that I've added, not the desiccated coconut. Thank goodness it's the same weight. What happens when you're reading it sideways with no glasses. All right, so 40 grams of desiccated coconut. So I've just got the Woolworths brand. 40 grams, and it instantly, once it ticks off, when you've weighed it, it goes back, it tears it back to the 0. So I'm adding in the 40. So once again, you can add a little more or a little less. And just be mindful if you're adding different dry ingredients, you're going to have to watch that for that you incorporate what you need to adjust it. Okay, so the next thing it's asking for 30 grams of flour. So I've got a little bit of the flour here. I'm just going to add that in, see if we get the 30 grams. Oh, that's pretty good to me. That's 30. There we go. And it'll go through and tick it again. So I've got to remember that I've got to put, oh yes, I did weigh it out. So while I've added that dry ingredients, because I know that it's not on my list here, you can also make your own recipes in here. So Cookie Do, if there's a particular recipe you like and you want to change some major components to it, you can actually also do that yourself. So you can adjust and make your own recipes and save them there. So I'm going to add in my other dry ingredients that were not in this particular recipe, and that's the protein and the psyllium husk. And I think there was, the cinnamon. I've added the cinnamon in there as well. So when I come down to the ground cinnamon, I've already got that. So that's all going in. So I'm not going to weigh that because that's not set in the instructions in the ingredients list on this recipe. So that goes in. So once again, I know that I've got my protein there. So we're now adding the peanut butter. So this particular one, I'm going to use my nut butter. So this is, almond butter. Smells beautiful. I could have put it in a smaller container, in a jar, but that's the one I had. Get out another spoon. Thank goodness we're all good to put them straight in the dishwasher. Love the fact that my teenager has done that for me. So 70 grams. So I'm going to go slowly with this because it will go quick because it's a heavier item. 50. And I just threw some on the counter. See, it's quite thick, so you know what's gone in there. That's another benefit. I'm going to highlight the things that have meaning to me that I might think that, you personally could benefit from knowing, or what, as I said, it makes a difference to me is knowing what goes into my ingredients. So my cooking, so that I know that there's nothing nasty added into this particular recipe because I've added all the bits in and I know what's in there. Saves money and it's a healthier option as well. All right, so that's ticking that off. I should have got my tea towel. Oh, there we go. The vanilla extract. I've got that over here for my other recipe. So we're just going to be popping in 1 teaspoon. Where's my teaspoon one? I didn't want to weigh these out because I didn't want to do extra washing up. Who wants to do extra washing up if you don't need to? So yeah, please shoot out any comments as you're watching this if there's anything that you've thought of. So if you want to host your own cooking demonstration, it's a wonderful opportunity to gain some host rewards where there's items on the mix shop that if someone purchases a Thermomix at your demonstration, you could actually be eligible for free, or it would reduce the items that they would normally be. So I'm going to go back to the recipe here and tick that because that has been added. The teaspoon, it didn't weigh it, it just tells me the teaspoon, and I did add the ground cinnamon. The baking powder, I didn't mention that before. I knew there was something else. So what are we doing? 1/4 teaspoon for that one. 1/2, and that's my 1/4. So this will help, baking powder helps with the rising agents. So it'll rise just a little bit for its integrity. So the deals that we've got at the moment, I'll tell you shortly. And we're going to finish the recipe. So we've got the sunflower seeds. So 30 grams of sunflower seeds and 30 grams of pepita seeds. So once again, I have pre-measured those out in this lovely little one. So this is another one from the mix shop. These are great for yogurts or chia pods if you'd like to make those for your breakfast. So I'm going to tip those in, and I'm going to tick the sunflowers and tick the pepitas. And now we want the 100 grams of water, but as I said, I'm doing a little more. So I researched this one and can't remember the differences to map that all out, but I've weighed it all here for you. So normally it would be 100 grams of water. So this recipe, because I added it, it does make it a little bit moister, but a bit more moist, but it comes up looking really good and in a nice bar shape, as I showed you before. All right, so all that's in, tick that, and so we're going to go next. And then pretty much that's just about as far as the actual recipe goes. And then we've got the lid on nice and firm. It faces the front, insulated bowl so it reduces some of that sound, and away she goes. So the difference is in the sound, because it's the insulated, it's nowhere near as loud as the sounds of the previous models. So it's counting it down. It's got 9 seconds left as it goes through, and the little timer's going through here so that you can see its progress as it goes along. And I probably should have got a spoon as well. All right, so that's done, and we'll go next. So it says place the dough into the prepared tray. So I'm going to open this up, show you what the dough looks like, get my spoon to incorporate it all together, and then I'm going to be moving this to the side and putting it down on my tray. So having some lovely silicone spatulas are very handy for when you're working. The Thermomix TM7 comes with a lovely, large, lengthy spatula that also helps down the bottom if you've got dough, and you can use that in the bottom spindle area where the blade is. I'm going to use this one today. I'm going to slide TM7 back. I'm going to show you what that looks like there. So you can see that's all the ingredients all incorporated. And you can scrape down the sides and bring it all in. So it smells lovely. So you can see that it's a bit of a wet mixture. So then all I'm going to do is, if you bear with me, got my computer out there in case I need to refer to it. Slide this one back, bring my tray forward, my pre-prepared tray. I'm going to tip up my bowl, and I'm just going to go in a clockwise direction and tip all of my ingredients out. Bring it all onto there. The blades are quite sharp, so you need to be mindful of that, but you can see it's all coming out quite easily. Not a big issue. And then I'm going to pop this on for a clean while I work on the next parts. So yes, you can clean your bowl as you go, reduces the amount of washing that you need to do, because I know I'm not a fan of it, but I like to clean as I go. So once again, I'm going to put some water. So in this, I cover the blades with water, put a dash of detergent and a dash of vinegar, and that helps keep it nice and clean. So over here to the sink, just pop in my water just to cover the blades. Get out my detergent, pop a little drop of that in there, and that will be my cleaning. Oh, I'll get my brush out because I like to use my Thermomix brushes. These are from the mix shop as well. They're fabulous, love them. They get down nice and into it as you're cleaning. Then I'm going to pop my vinegar in there as well. So vinegar is also a good one to clean your bowls. It gets things really clean. I also like to use it in my household cleaning products. Okay, so we'll pop that on to clean. We'll just do a quick clean while we finish off this last part of the recipe. Make sure I've got my lid on. Well, that's going to go everywhere. So while I'm still in that recipe, I can tap the top button here, and there are some other settings in there. And one of these is the cleaning function. So it's got some preset cleaning functions there, and I'm just going to do a universal, which is 7 minutes, and let that go. So that's going to clean for me. Oh, I did actually have some vanilla essence out. Whoops. Not a problem. We can pop that back in. Now, I'm patting that down so that it goes kind of like a cake mixture, all in and around, right up to the edges. And then this is we're going to bake. So I'm going to freeze this because I've now got double the batch because I did that pre-cooked one earlier just for the sake of the cook along so that you can see what that looks like as well. I wasn't sure if I'd be finished the cooking session, the live cooking session in time, so I just wanted to make sure that I had that for you. So that, yeah, as I mentioned, freezing that, so that means you've then got yours some treats for the children, for school, for you, yourself, for your partner, or even a little snack. So as I said, this is called a toddler-friendly version. You saw the image in Cookie Doo. So Cookie Doo is the area that carries all the recipes in it, and it is amazing. There are thousands of recipes all around the world in Cookie Doo. So that's another demonstration we could go through at some point, all the modes and ways to get the most out of your Thermomix. So definitely think about that. So while I'm putting this down, I'm just going to quickly mention at the moment we've got the offer to become a consultant and you can earn your Thermomix. So that's how I began my journey. So it's called Earn For. So you sign up before, what date is that? Before February. Got it in my paperwork here. Before the 28th of February. So sign up before the 28th of February and join me and my team. It's a lovely team here in Brisbane on the north side. If you're interested and you don't live in Brisbane, that's not a problem. We can certainly set you up. And it's Earn For 4 sales, just 4 sales. I had to do 6 in 90 days when I became a consultant. So it's 4 sales in 90 days and the price reduces down. So if you make your 4 sales, it's not going to cost you anything. So people say, you know, this might be the journey, this option for you. If you want a side hustle, certainly reach out and let me know. So the other items that we've got up for, there's payment options. So we have pay your Thermomix outright, which is $2,649. There's Afterpay, there's Hum, we've got Zip Money, or you can earn your Thermomix. So look at all those choices. So definitely, got any questions, don't hesitate to reach out to me. So while that's cooking, I'm going to go back to my recipe. While that's cleaning, and I'm going to go down and see what it tells me next. So baking this for 15 to 18 minutes. So I'm going to pop that in the oven, and then I'm going to bring up the screen for the my TM6, and I'm going to show you the next recipe, which is the energy balls. So this one we've got, which is another one in Cookie Doo, and it's another one that you can keep on hand to add to your lunchbox. So we'll pop this in the oven for 15 minutes. I'm going to set a timer on. All right, so we'll leave that one in the background, bring forward our TM6, beautiful TM6 here, and we're going to start cooking away with this one. So it's slightly different. So you've still got the screen here. So the TM5 has a smaller screen and the TM6 has got Cookie Doo. I have Cookie Doo connected. So I'm going to go through back to my week, and I'm going to bring up, it's connecting to the internet, and it's going to bring up the options that I have already put in there. So you can plan your week's menu, which saves time and money again. So I've got, that was the last one we cooked, and we're now going to bring up this one. So this one is called the Peanut Butter Natural Energy Balls. So we'll start the menu. So it's asking, take that off again. I'm going to tear it because it's going to weigh when I touch that. And we're going to add rolled oats. So that's what these ones are, 110 grams of rolled oats. Oh, a little over. Excuse the fingers, they are clean. It's also my family here, so they can handle that. Pop that to the side. So I'm going to move this one out because I've got my other tray with all the items. So once again, while I'm showing you that, I'm just going to highlight the bars that are currently cooking. So you can see wrapped up. These have been stored in the fridge. and that's my toddler-friendly granola bar with extra protein and extra fibre for healthy options. Pop that away. Bringing back my other tray. All right, so we're going to go next. We've put in our rolled oats, and now it's asking for smooth peanut butter. So I've got this particular one that I've got. I haven't used the almond butter for this one. It's peanut butter. The brand that I had is a little particularly oily, so I may have to watch. Oh my gosh, I did it again. I've already pre-done the oats. I'm jumping ahead of myself here. So I've also added the honey already into my peanut butter, as it says, preferably homemade. I'm going to get my spoon here. And what's it asking for? 125 grams. Oh, mine's a little bit over. I was sure I weighed that. Okay. Then we're going to go next. And the honey that's in there, that's why it's a little more. So you can see it's dingling through the phone. That's telling me that my cleaning has finished. So I can now take that bowl. I'll show you what that looks like. So it's warmed it up, it's heated that up, and that's clean. So I'm going to take that over to the sink, rinse that off while that's been quite warm, and just hang it out to dry. So that's a pre-clean, they call that. Depends what you've got going. So I didn't have any meat or any items in here that would cause an issue. So I'm going to rinse that out, tip it out, give it a little bit more of a clean, and I'm going to pop that up to drain, and that should be good to go. So I'll show you what that bowl now looks like now that I have rinsed that off. So you can see that that's pretty clean. So that for me is good enough for that particular recipe that I cook. So that's now draining for drying. Back to my other recipe. So you can see 2 recipes. I'm jumping between 2. It's fairly easy. I might try and get a little bit more of that honey out. You could also reduce the honey if you didn't want it as sweet, less calories. That's another option for you. So now we're asking for 75 grams of peanuts, roasted peanuts, or 75 grams of raisins. Okay, so that's another option there. So it's, if you wanted to have that without the nuts. So I've chosen the nuts this time. So we're going to go add them in. There we go. We're going to go next. Linseed. Oh, so I've added all of mine in together. So I had a linseed mix that had a few pepitas and sunflower seeds in it as well. So I'm going to add all of mine in. That's just the way mine worked. Adding all of them in, and then we're going to add that vanilla, 1 teaspoon of vanilla. I'll use that other one that was there that I had to the side. Definitely vanilla. Next, and some sea salt. I'm going to use a bit of sea salt flakes. You can reduce this or not add this. That's more for flavour and preserving it. And then it's asking us to insert the measuring cup and lid into, make sure that that's into place. Next, and then all the settings are all preset there. So all I need to do is to just turn the knob right around and start it up. All right, so that's done its thing. I'm just cleaning my spoon that I had earlier because it had similar ingredients. So I'm just going to use that particular one. So it's going to dingling, keep dingling and tells me that it's done. Okay, and the next, and that's done as well. So now we're just going to roll them into 18 balls, place them in the fridge to set before serving. So they're going to need to firm up. So I'm going to look at that, bring it all back together. Oh, it is sticky. Smells lovely though. So these can be like a nice treat. So it says, when it says energy ball, it's got a little bit of sugar. So that's another thing. The Thermomix cookie dough recipes also have the macros in them. So it tells you all of the calories and so forth. I probably should get a decent sized spoon to help me manage the sizes of this. I think it says a teaspoon. Oh, I'll use a teaspoon. Blow it. Let's just do it. So you can see that's coming together quite nicely, nice and firm. So if you're wanting to make sure that you get these all in the right size, you could weigh them to make sure that you're getting the exact calorie count. So I think it'll say something about, it says 18 balls. So I'm going to move that back to the side so we can go finish, and that's the recipe done. You can also rate the recipes too. So bring them back here, and I'm going to pop them on the board. You could turn all of this out onto another tray so that you're not into a bowl, so you can see what you're working with rather going inside. So I'll just do a few of these so that you can see. It's 5 o'clock. So what have you got planned for dinner? So tonight I've already pre-made a, what did I make? I made a lasagna for one day this week because we've got a very busy week ahead. So I've already pre-made those. And we've also got a lovely quiche. That was a really quick and easy Thermomix recipe, the quiche. So I think it was I can show you that one. I'll probably post that one to my page shortly. So yeah, I hope you enjoy these two recipes. So you can see these are coming together quite nicely. Easy to do, easy recipes. Make ahead of time, put them in your fridge for when you need them, take them to school, take them to work. And there's also gluten-free options there. So you can see that's our lovely little protein balls. So I'm going to pop the protein balls there, but don't throw them all away, and my other ones, and you've got some lovely, beautiful snacks. So please reach out to me if you need anything. Michelle Darby, Thermomix consultant in Brisbane. Next week, we've got Australia Day on Monday, and I'm going to be doing a lovely damper. So that's a nice one in the cookie dough recipe. So if you would like to cook along with me, it'll be 4:30 again on Monday. Reach out to me and I can flick you through the ingredients and we can do that together. And please let me know if there's anything you'd like to know more about, or if you'd like to cook along with me. So I'm going to finish up now, and thank you for joining me. And once again, if you need anything, I'm here. Have a great day. Bye for now.